What's up, nerds? So again, coming at you that time of year where everybody does their top 10 list, and today I am going to be doing my 10 worst shows of 2023. Now, I just want to say real quick that this is just a representation of my viewing habits, and these shows, I didn't necessarily hate all of them, but some of them, they were less than stellar for me, and that's why they didn't make my best list, but they made my worst list because of reasons, which I will get into shortly. But if a show made this list and you're upset about it, just leave that in the comments section. That's fine. I can handle it. If a show didn't make this list and you wish it had, tell me about it. I want to hear about it. And then you guys can leave also your 10 worst shows down below also, or your 5, whatever shows you thought sucked this year. Just go ahead and leave them down below. And then maybe I'll check them out, even though if you say they're bad, I'm probably not going to. I don't want to waste my time. All right, without further ado, let's get into my top 10 worst shows of 2023. So coming in at number 10 is The Last of Us. Ooh, I bet I upset a bunch of you with this one. Yeah, I did. Now listen, The Last of Us, this adaptation for me misses the mark. Although it may capture the emotional depth and the beloved game, it doesn't recreate the thrilling action of the gameplay from said game and leaves fans like myself wanting more. It's not that I didn't think that the writing was good on the show. The writing is actually really good on this show. The emotional beats are really great also. Plus, the acting is really stellar. I have a bunch of positive things to say about this show. The reason for me that this show made my top 10 list and it made number 10 the bottom of the list is not because I didn't like it. It's just because it was boring. Like the whole time I was like, all right, can we shoot some more baddies here? Like I think it was episode 5 where we got that big action sequence where all the creatures came out of the ground and they were all like, ugh, and everything. And I was like, yeah, shoot them up and everything. And that was the most action-packed part of this show. And I guess I wish they would have put more of the gameplay where you actually do shoot some flower head people, but they didn't. So that's why this makes my top 10 worst shows, and it makes it at the very bottom. All right, you guys, so coming in at number 9 is Loki Season 2. Now, Loki Season 2 disappoints with a lackluster plot and fails to capture the charisma that made the character a fan favorite, in my opinion. I thought this season was really boring. I did not have a good time watching it. I thought the first 2 episodes were pretty decent, and I was like, oh, they're heading in good directions. And then it just, for me personally, fell off a cliff. I was like, I don't like it. I'm not excited. I don't want to see any more of this. And then that ending I felt was just really just, they ended a character for me, and I just didn't like the ending because I wanted to see this baddie go bad, not become the god of stories. So I just didn't like it. I didn't like this season, and I don't like this show, but I haven't liked any of the Marvel shows pretty much. So, oh well, say la vie. All right, you guys, so coming in at number 8 is Ahsoka. Ahsoka. Man, listen, Ahsoka struggles to find its footing with a plot that meanders and fails to fully capitalize on the character's potential. I mean, listen, Dave Filoni may have done a great job with his involvement with Clone Wars and with Rebels, but I have to admit, and Ahsoka, his creation, great character. Love Ahsoka. But in this show, he went off into his Filoniism, which I personally don't care for. He gets into these theological things with the Force, and I personally, that's not what I'm interested in when I watch Star Wars. A very niche part of the Star Wars universe, and it's a very small crowd that loves this stuff. Me personally, I don't love it. Plus, his failure to really capture Thrawn in this show was just downright criminal. Plus, it ended on a really weird note. Where can we go from here? To his movie? Nobody's interested in that bullshit. I'm not interested. You're not interested. And if you are, you travel in a large group of 1, maybe 2. So this show just sucked. Plus, the fighting sequences were awful. Plus, everybody's getting stabbed in the chest with a lightsaber and not dying. I know everybody's going to be all like, what a dumb point. But hey, listen, it's fair. They destroyed that little globe map with a lightsaber, but they can't incinerate the insides of a Jedi. But yeah, the show just sucked. All right, so coming in at number 7 and keeping with our Star Wars theme at the moment is The Mandalorian Season 3. That's right, I put it in here. The Mandalorian Season 3 feels like a creative misstep, in my opinion, losing the tight narrative focus of its predecessors, Season 1 and Season 2. I feel like they went in a direction that none of us are interested in. And I don't like the sequel trilogy. And I understand that that's where they're going with all of this. They're not going to course correct. And it's like, okay, fine. But Star Wars has really just stepped off the edge of that cliff, and they're just not going to be able to fly their way back up and out. So Star Wars, I'll watch it from now on, but it's not exciting for me. And The Mandalorian, again, is just not that great. I wish we would have gotten at least a season without Baby Yoda, because even though he's cute, I just feel like it's just one of those things that they're only putting in to sell more toys, and I'm not interested in that nonsense. I haven't bought anything Star Wars since The Last Jedi, and I probably won't buy anything Star Wars. Probably never again. So we'll see. I'll watch season 4, but I'm not excited about it at all. All right, you guys. So coming in at number 6 is Marvel's Secret Invasion. Yeah, man, this show, man, the Secret Invasion disappoints with its convoluted storyline and a lack of the espionage thrill it promised. I mean, this could have been so good if they followed that iconic comic book. I mean, the who's who of Skrulls that leads up to a fantastic movie. I mean, that would have been so good. But of course, it's a missed opportunity. But hey, Marvel sucks, the big one these days. I mean, like I said, the comic book, if you've ever read that comic book, it is so good because the whole time there are characters that you're just like, is this person a Skrull? I bet this person is a Skrull. And as soon as it's revealed that a character is a Skrull, you're like, no way. And there's one moment where a character is revealed as Skrull, and there's a character that is their partner, and the devastation you see in their face when they find out that their partner is a Skrull is just so good because it's like you can feel it through the pages. And they missed an opportunity here with this show. There was no, who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull, because they immediately the you. And the showrunner for this show, or the director for all the episodes, he admitted that he didn't read the comic book. And they told him not to read the comic book. And I was like, what a bad choice, in my opinion. It was just failed opportunity. And, it just speaks to Marvel and their decision making these days and how bad they are at it. But we'll see what they do going forward. But this made my list for sure because it sucks. All right. So coming in at number 5 is Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2. That's right, you guys. I'm sorry. This had to go on the list because Season 2 fails to recapture the magic of the Star Trek universe with a sluggish pace and a plot that lacks the usual depth we expect. Plus, this season went off in a weird directions. I mean, just straight up sucked. I mean, that musical episode was just the worst. I didn't care for the season finale. I have no idea what they were trying to do this season. I understand they do episodic entries where each episode is its own, but then they have an overarching storyline. But I just thought this season was just not good. I don't understand what they were trying to do, but it was bad. And I mean, the season 1 wasn't terrible, but season 2 was just god awful. And see, I don't have faith for season 3. I don't. They're probably going to do some more singing, which I don't understand that concept either. Why does every show have to have singing in it? You don't have to have singing in it. I mean, yeah, the original Star Trek had some singing in it, but you don't have to have a singing episode every freaking season. I don't understand that concept, but whatever. What do I know? And coming in at number 4, you guys, is Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Man, this show crashes and burns with its forced humor and a narrative that fails to capture the essence of the beloved graphic novel. Plus, it's a classic bait and switch, and it's sure shit. Scott Pilgrim dies the first episode, and the animation may be cool, but the writing is just pure trash. I mean, I hated this. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't finish it. I finished 3 episodes, and then I was like, I'm out. This is bad. And as much as I love Fiona, I don't want to see a show that's all about her. It's called Scott Pilgrim. I want to see Scott Pilgrim. And they pulled the He-Man on us and everything. It's terrible. It's really, really bad. I'll leave a link into a review that you should watch from another YouTuber. But this show sucked. And I'm glad I didn't finish it because it was just there's no way it could have got better. No fucking way. All right, you guys, coming in at number 3. That's right, we reached our top 3. But coming in at number 3 is Velma. Yeah, Velma. The Scooby-Doo spinoff feels more like a missed opportunity than a fresh take, lacking the charm and wit of the original series. But what about all the feminism? Of course, this one sucked. It was written by Mindy Kaling, and she's a terrible writer. She's just fucking god awful. Name one thing she's ever written that was good. Oh, don't worry. I'll sit here and wait. No, I won't, because you can't come up with anything. It was just god awful. I mean, plus there was self-insert into Velma here. And, you know, of course, the white men are bad and white people are bad. And Mindy Kaling is just a fucking terrible writer. Again, she's god awful. This show sucks. I think it's getting a season 2, but it's just really, really bad. I fucking hated this show. It was such a drudge to get through all of it. It was bad. It was just bad. All right, you guys, coming in at number 2 is Gotham Knights. Man, unfortunately, this doesn't live up to the hype, stumbling in its attempt to bring the beloved DC characters to life with a disjointed narrative and uninspiring performances. Also, if they just followed the comics, this could have been good. I mean, there was that video game, which I guess wasn't that great. I didn't watch the cutscenes and I didn't play it, but these characters are just so god-awful in this show. And if they would have just taken the characters from the comic books, except for that main character, I don't remember what his name was, and his acting was terrible. The acting of Duella, that actress, she did the best, in my opinion. I really enjoyed her performance. But the show overall, and they brought in the Court of Owls, which wasn't god-awful, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. And I understand that the budget, but if you can't do something right, don't do it at all. And this show just, in my opinion, failed over and over again, each week, episode after episode. And of course it would, because it was from people from Batwoman, and that show sucked dick. So this show wasn't good. It got canceled, thank God. And I'm you know, we're all better that it's not going to be around anymore, because it was just bad. All right, you guys, coming in at number 1, the worst show of 2023. Can you guess it? You can't guess it. You can't guess it. But here it is. It is Glamorous. That's right, from Netflix. Glamorous is a misguided attempt at a fashion-centric drama, but with makeup, that falls flat with its cliched plot and lackluster character development. Plus, I don't know who told Miss Benny that they could act, but they can't. So I'm glad this show got canceled by Netflix, because it was just fucking awful. I mean, Kim Cattrall, I love Kim Cattrall, but this show just wasn't her for her. I'm sorry. It was just bad all the way around. Filled with messaging and a not-so-secret gay agenda, which is not so bad. I mean, like, I enjoy gay characters, but this show just took it into the very progressive leaning, and it was just bad. And the acting was not good. Even Kim Cattrall, I felt, did a bad job in acting-wise. So the show sucked. I didn't like it, and I'm not sad it got canceled. So, bye, Glamorous. Bye-bye. All right, you guys. So that is my top 10 worst shows of 2023. Tell me, did any of these shows make your top 10 worst list? Did any show didn't make it to my list that you wish would have? And how do you feel about my list overall? Do you think they warranted to make the worst shows of 2023? I know you're mad about The Last of Us. I can tell. But tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next, whatever list. You guys have a good day. Bye.